I've been following this Karmelo Anthony case, and it's always astounding to me how white America, MAGA especially, have the audacity, they have the nerve to say, oh, stop making it about race. Why does it have to always be about race? Because it is. Have you seen the history of the United States of America? Have you seen how we treat Black Americans, especially young Black males? Better yet, do you understand the good old boy system? Do you understand the good old boy system of Texas? Think about this. If Karmelo Anthony was a 135-pound white boy who went under a tent at a high school to get out of the rain, and then two 200-pound, 6-foot Black boys who were on the football team, looking like linebackers, came up to him and said, I need you to leave this tent. And if the white boy was scared and he didn't want to go out in the rain, and he says, no, I'm not leaving. And then the Black boys were to push that white boy, to lunge at him and start a fight with him. And then that white boy pulled out a knife and stabbed the two Black boys. Y'all would all be saying self-defense. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. You'd be in the comments, usual suspects. Them boys were chimping out to attack him like that. Let's be real. You'd be saying, oh, those were two silverback gorillas coming at that little poor white boy. And he was just trying to defend himself. Two major elements, concepts of self-defense is imminent threat and use of force. Was there an imminent threat? Obviously. There were two 200-pound football players who circled a 135-pound Black boy while he was sitting down. And not only did they threaten to beat his ass, but they started to try to beat his ass. And the reality of America is that the vast majority of us, including myself, is that we'll never know the amount of fear that Black people face and feel having to live in a society that was not built for them, that was not built by them, but it was actually built to destroy them. Knowing that 9 times out of 10 in situations like this, they're not getting the good end of the deal. They're getting the short end of the stick. They're not getting the benefit of the doubt. When we convict white defendants in the United States of America, it is beyond a reasonable doubt, any sliver of doubt, and that person is innocent. Black defendants, on the other hand, can have all the doubt in the world, evidence in hand, and many times it's still not enough. Not all the time, but the vast majority. There are police brutality trials, and they have a use of force incident by a law enforcement officer, and he has to make a split-second decision. He is always given deference. That's the standard. They said that police officers are put in harmful or risky situations, and it's very stressful. Well, I can imagine that's what it's like for a young Black male living in this country, in a country where white people continue to invalidate their experience. And when we talk about the element of proportionality of force in the Karmelo Anthony case, we have no idea the amount of fear that Karmelo Anthony was experiencing on that day. When two big old white boys, twice his size, come and violently attack him. I'd imagine if I was Karmelo, I'd probably fear for my life too. In fact, after the incident, he was so scared that he tried to get rid of the knife because he knew the reality of being caught up in the good old boy system and that his story and his experience would not be validated or believed. That's the difference between being Black and white in a two-tier justice system in the United States of America.